Well, here we are again, in business rates free, the sequel to the sequel. And it's important because this is an important issue, and it's really good news today for Scottish businesses, and particularly for businesses in the northeast of Scotland. Now, if you remember the previous two episodes, in the first episode last week I pointed out that business rates revaluations through history always cause controversy, and the controversy is obvious because those who are paying higher business rates, they have legitimate complaint, and those who are paying lower business rates, they don't say very much at all. I also pointed out that thanks to the small business bonus, 100,000 businesses in Scotland, 6,000 in Aberdeenshire, more than any other place in the country per head of population, because we have more small businesses, don't pay any business rates at all. And I defended that scheme and said, look, that's vital for the lifeblood of the economy. I also pointed out what was happening north and south of the border, that while the Tory supporting press were saying SNP faces revolt over business rates rise, with the ballerina there from last Friday's paper, the same paper south of the border was saying Tories face revolt over nightmare rise in rates. There's the ballerina again. So that the people who were complaining about business rates rising in Scotland weren't telling everybody that the same thing and worse was happening in England, because in England it wasn't just a revolt, it was a nightmare and a revolt. And I also said that businesses in the northeast of Scotland had a particular legitimate complaint, and that was that the date on which the rates were assessed was at a time when the northeast economy was performing much stronger because of the high price of oil. Now, what's happened today? The Scottish Finance Secretary has responded to these concerns and introduced a tremendous scheme which has caught the opposition parties by surprise and which will be widely welcomed across Scottish business. He's done three things. Firstly, he's addressed the concerns of the hospitality industry around the country, not just hotels but pubs and other hospitality premises, and capped any rise in any hospitality premise to 12.5%. So gone will be the claims of doubling or tripling of rates. That's all gone. 12.5% cap. That's a very, very strong move indeed. Secondly, he's made an initiative in the renewable sector, particularly because of the UK government's withdrawal support. Many renewable premises, like hydro schemes, were under pressure, and he's done something to relieve the pressure or burden of business rates on them. And thirdly, he's made a gesture to the northeast of Scotland, a more significant move, in putting the same cap of 12.5% in office premises, where it was obvious that office premises were still being valued at levels which were appropriate to the oil-fueled economy of 2 years ago, but less appropriate to 2017. And these are the three moves made by the Scottish Finance Secretary, Derek Mackay, today. They will be widely welcomed, and they address the concerns, and they add, of course, to the help that's coming forward from imaginative councils like SNP-led Aberdeenshire, who have taken the extra money given to councils and say we're going to have our own specific business relief scheme. So it's good news, and good news for jobs and investment. So what do we have in the context? Well, in Scotland now we have a situation where following the revaluation, 70% of our businesses will either pay no more or less than they were previously. That many more businesses, thousands more, will have the rates increases capped, so they won't be paying more than 12.5% more. And we find therefore that that's a move which will support jobs and investment. And furthermore, there's going to be a root and branch review of the business rates scheme from Ken Barclay, which will be coming in for next year, before next year's bills. That's a strong position. And you can contrast that with what's happening down here in Westminster, where the Chancellor is caught like a rabbit in the headlines, in face of the fury which is confronting him as MPs from around England start to tote up the cost of their business rates rise. So what I say is this: no rates revaluation in history has ever caused anything but controversy. But we have a tale of two countries. We have a position in Scotland where the Finance Secretary has responded positively to real legitimate concerns, not just from the northeast of Scotland but from across the country, and acted decisively to meet these concerns and protect jobs and investment. And we've got a situation down at Westminster where the Business Secretary, the Chancellor of the Exchequer are scrambling about with the bills about to land in through the letterboxes of businesses across England without knowing what they're going to do, caught like a rabbit in the headlights. I know which country I'd rather be running a business in, and that's north of the border in Scotland.